So it is a big deal and a great responsibility to be a main vocalist of a K-pop group, even despite current trends and general focus shifting towards dance and visual rather than vocals. Ideally, the main vocalist is typically a member with the best, most developed vocal technique and the most well-rounded skill set in the group. Ideally, the main vocalist should be getting a lot of lines and also be given space for the vocals to shine. However, it's not always the case, as we know. And in this video, we're gonna rank 8 main vocalists of 8 different groups, both 3rd and 4th generation, by how they are being treated considering their positions in their respective groups. I'll be focusing mostly on title tracks, so please keep that in mind. Starting with the most mistreated, or rather misused, number 8. Liz's treatment in IVE upsets me. 11 allowed her to shine appropriately as she's got great parts and the most time to herself. But then, what happened? I mean, as far as B-sides go, it's mostly fine. She pretty much owned Royal, which is amazing. However, what Liz got in Love Dive and Afterlike is quite infuriating. As a main vocalist, Liz has the second least amount of lines in both songs. Narcissistic, my god, I hate it. What the hell, in Afterlike she doesn't even get to sing one chorus. Lines matter. They directly affect the career of an idol. Afterlike and Love Dive especially have been huge releases in 2022, and Liz not getting to enjoy more time on them undermines her position as a main vocalist of the group. Unfortunately, this past year, IVE producers seemed more interested in giving attention to more popular members, especially, you know who, Wonyoung and Yujin, who are both sub-vocalists in the group. Just to be clear, I have nothing against Wonyoung or Yujin, I'm only talking about Liz's treatment specifically. And most definitely I do not have time to care about how Wonyoung eats her strawberry, that's a different story. The fact that IVE have only had a debut and 2 comebacks, and Liz's treatment as a main vocalist has gotten worse this quickly, is pretty concerning. Not giving more lines to the best vocalist of the group isn't too smart, especially since IVE isn't the strongest group vocally to begin with, and is so easy to pick on. Liz deserves better, much better. I do appreciate her charisma despite all of this. So, believe it or not, but Miyeon is in fact a main vocalist of Idol, even though it doesn't really seem like it. Since Idol's debut, things only got progressively worse for Miyeon. So much so that in their 2 latest comebacks, Miyeon had the least amount of lines in the group, yes, while being a main vocalist. I'd say that's pretty questionable at best. I do get the impression that Siyeon, along with other Kpop Entertainment producers, do not really know what to do with Miyeon. Her parts in both Tomboy and Nude sound very similar. Generally lacking creativity, thought, oomph, and not really giving Miyeon too much to work with. It's a shame because she has a great voice. Her mature tone is unique and refreshing, and it sort of reminds me of the amazing Taeyeon. It is a beautiful asset to the group. I hope Soyeon will find a better place for Miyeon in Idol's future material. Hey, but at least she got a solo. Itzy is definitely one of the more fair groups line distribution wise. Leah usually gets a solid amount of time in their discography, as there are more than a handful of songs where she's either third or second. Examples include, but are not limited to, Sneakers, Loco, Cheshire, and Wannabe. Considering the nature of itzy songs, however, these bold, sharp, shouty choruses do not play to Leah's strengths as a vocalist and make her somewhat stay in Yeji's shadow. The best main vocalist moment that Leah ever got so far has been her bridge in Mafia in the Morning. On that song, she's not even first or second in terms of line distribution, but this part has always been the most memorable to me. I love coming back to it solely because of Leah's perfect delivery. Leah performs best in her low to mid-range. When she's given the right material, she absolutely outshines her members, just proving that she's been the right pick for main vocalist of itzy since day one. People often do not realize how important Leah is in itzy. She's the only member who's vocally able to bring the sense of elegance and sensuality that she brings, balancing out the group's overall sound. The way SM treats Ningning and uses her in aespa's discography is not ideal, but it's not bad either. Since aespa is a more vocal-oriented group and consists of only 4 members, it's easier for producers to find space for her. While it's true that Ningning generally gets a lot of lines, apart from Black Mamba, if I didn't know who's the main vocalist of aespa, Winter would probably be my guess. Not because of her vocal skills necessarily, but rather because of sheer amount of time she gets and which parts specifically are chosen for her. Listening to Savage or Girls, to me it seems like producers compose their songs with first Winter in mind and then have Ningning to fill in the space that's left. And I'd never say that Ningning is being mistreated by SM, but as a main vocalist, I think there is more that could be done for her. And yes, more live singing please, thank you. Since Twice has as many as 9 members, when it comes to jihyo, producers have to think and care more in order to give her the appropriate amount of lines. We know that Miyeon gets the most lines in the group, but even despite that, you never really get the feeling that jihyo is being left out. Jihyo's parts include choruses, unique to her ad-libs, bridges. She appears in verses here and there, putting her voice, skills and talents on display quite well, I think. In a rap-heavy group like Blackpink, it's safe to say that Rosé still gets a solid amount of respect and attention. Her voice is very much present throughout Blackpink's discography. With any of the valid criticism of Teddy as a producer, he surely does one thing right. He trusts Rosé and her voice. It's not unusual for Rosé to get the most lines in Blackpink songs, examples including Boombaya's Say Don't Know What to Do or Loves the Girls. Even when she doesn't have the most lines, her parts still remain unique and memorable. I've said it before, that despite not having the best technique, Siyeon's voice is perfect for Dreamcatcher's music. And I clearly am not the only one to think so, as Dreamcatcher's producers seem to agree. Despite having 7 members on the team, you will have absolutely no problem of telling who the main vocalist is, which is great. Siyeon's cutting, cool voice does so much for the group's discography. She usually takes on the most challenging, belty parts, but Siyeon is also not treated as a one-trick pony, since she's also able to explore and use her softer vocal side. SM producers know what's up. They know they hit a jackpot with Wendy, and thank God she's treated with respect and care. Wendy has a beautiful presence throughout Red Velvet's discography. If you listen to Red Velvet's music from comeback to comeback, album to album, you're really gonna get to know Wendy as a vocalist and a wide spectrum of her range and skills. While it's not unusual for Wendy to take care of more conventionally impressive vocal moments, high belts, vocal runs, upper head voice, producers aren't afraid to give her more simplistic and relaxed lines as well. They so easily could use Wendy as just a high note hitting machine, but they don't do that. Instead, they seem to be giving her both freedom and a healthy push to perform vocally at her best. Hallelujah! And that is all I have for you guys in this video. Let's just collectively hope that in 2023 we will only see a positive change when it comes to companies treating their main vocalists. Let me know in the comments what you think about all of this. See you in my next one. For now, bye guys. When I lost my mind. Oh, that's awful.